A job worth doing is worth doing right. If you're not following this build, it's a full build series on this seat, how to take a stock seat and make it custom. Let's get this thing painted. If you missed the first video on this series, please go back to our library and check it out. This is a quick catch up on what we've done so far as getting the seat painted and trimmed and getting the wood cut out. All right, so now that we've got some pretty decent patterns made for our seat in our 55 Chevy pickup truck, I'm gonna go ahead and take this 3/4 inch plywood and we're gonna cut out a bottom and a back for this factory seat. This is what we're gonna do before we cut our foam or design our foam. So we're getting rid of the springs, we're getting a more modern comfort ride. So let's get this stuff, these patterns transferred over to this wood and get this stuff cut out, and we'll get to the next step. Now this is a messy job. I chose to do it outside. It's a beautiful day. So here I just made some patterns off of the seat frame itself. This is going to get us a rough cut on this plywood that we can trim up shortly. Now once again, please go back and watch the full video on this seat build on part 1. This is part 2 where we're bringing you up to speed, and then we're going to get the new foam that just came in. We're going to cut that into the desired design, and then we're going to start sewing up this seat. Just wanted to bring you guys along and do a quick catch up on what's been done so far. This is what we're doing now. You can see the line that I made. So I couldn't really pick that up good on the pattern, and it's on both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and trim this up and then test fit it again. We've got that seat bottom and the back cut. Now the next step was we're gonna do a relief pocket in the bottom seat. That is gonna make it so much more comfortable to ride in long distance. Now this is gonna be a huge improvement over the factory seat with the springs like Grandpa used to have bouncing around. This is very firm when we get ready to put our foam and stuff on, but these little pockets, top secret, these little pockets are gonna make a huge difference. Wait till you see what we're gonna do next. Revert back to video 1 because I go over this in much greater detail, but right now we're just getting caught back up and we're gonna get started on video number 2. All right, so here we are. We're on the seat bottom. We got it cut out. We got our pockets cut out. I call these butt pockets. Got the butt pockets cut out, and now we're going to lace up these pockets to where your butt won't go all the way down. What we're gonna do is this elastic nylon band, all right? It's a 2-man job, but I got my 2 buddies here, clamp 1 and clamp 2. They're gonna hold this thing secure to the table to where it's gonna stay in place when I do this pulling. Now what I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna double up the edge of this about 2 inches. I'm gonna lay it down about where I want it to be. I wanna keep these things spaced apart, so we'll probably put 1, 2, 3. We might be able to get 4 across this way and multiple more, many more across that way. So we get this stuff lined up, we double it like this, we pop a few staples in it, and pull it really, really taut, and then pop some more staples in this side over here, and then continue on until it's done. The reason I do this, you get a couple extra 100 miles on your trip and you won't feel as bad. If you want to keep it simple, don't do this, don't cut out the hole, do your foam on top. All right, so let's get this other side done, then we're ready for the foam. All right, so here's a quick overview of what we've done. Now, I pulled these pretty tight when I stretched them across. It's really a 2-man job, but it's okay. You can get it done yourself. You're gonna weave it just like a basket weave. Up, under, up, under, up, all the way across. This gives it that extra strength. So when you push over here, it's actually giving over here a little bit. If you didn't weave them, you could push down right here, and that would be the only thing you'd be pushing down. Pretty self-explanatory. I folded the edges under just to give it a better look. I guess I didn't get too OCD on my staples. I wanted to make sure that they were going to stay in place. It'll never be seen, and it's holding up super taut. So, all right, let's get this other side done. Quit jabbing. Well, I don't have any voiceover music, and you sure don't want me singing to you. But I would like to remind you to watch video 1 to get much greater details on what you're seeing right here. This is video 1 2.0 because I changed the design a little bit coming up, and I wanted everybody to make sure that they saw it. I had too many questions come across. Now, if that won't make you tushy-cushy, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Clamp 1 and Clamp 2 for stepping in and helping the old boy out. Now, next step, we're going to design and cut the foam just like we've done in seats in the previous. There's plenty of videos on how I did that, but we're going to do this one all the way through, guys, all the way through to installing the finished seat. Now, this is a step where I lost everybody. Now, these are the original spring seats that I took the springs off of, and I'm removing the original brackets. We're going to repurpose these brackets to make them work exactly like they did in the factory seat, but in our new modern foam seat with no springs. So, this is where I wanted you to pay close attention because I did redesign and rethink the way I did it the first time around to this time. All right, so what I did, I removed, as you just saw in that sped up clip, I removed these factory brackets that was on the springs of the original spring part of the seat, took those off, and now these aren't the final resting points. This isn't the final. I've still got some work to do to get these to fit just a little bit better, make a couple of spacers, get a different set of screws that come in from the backside, make them a little bit more secure. And I flipped these around from where they were the other way. Now, I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. I may go ahead and redo these and flip them to where they are just like the originals. But right now, I can't do that because of how they're bent. So a little bit more work to do there. So I have to go back and look and see exactly where I left us off on that video. But here's where I know I need to be. I just took the seat back out of the seat frame, the factory seat frame. But before I did so, I went ahead and made some marks on the back to where I want to go ahead and trim this down so it'll fit inside the frame a little bit better. I'm cutting a lot off the top so I can bring the bottom up just a little bit and center it a little bit more. This is not going to affect the way it rides, but just the way it looks. So I'm going to clean this line up right here that I did from reaching inside the truck. Then we're going to cut this line off, and then we're going to test fit it again. And then I'm going to show you how I've hooked these brackets on and what that's going to do for us. Now, if you guys are just now following us, this is a seat built for a 55 Chevy pickup truck using the original seat frame, and we're getting rid of all of the factory springs. We're going to make a more modern seat feel out of it, but it's going to retain its original look. Spanky don't need to be using any big words. My vocabulary is about as short as my posture. All right, let's get some saws and start cutting this. Well, you guys know that I'm a one-man show, but I can't do it all by myself. So I've got to thank somebody today. So I've got to thank Benchmark Abrasives. That's where I have been getting all of my grinding disc, cut-off wheels, safety equipment, sandpaper, anything that you think you need in your shop that's a consumable, more than likely they've got it. But right now, I got a deal of a lifetime. I went over there to their website and they have got a special right now. I'm not quoting any prices because who knows when this is going to be seen, but you need to go on over there, you need to tell them that Spanky sent you, and you might get something extra thrown in your sack, or maybe few little discount points coming off. But hey, look, I got me a new grinder hood. Not only does this hood fit perfect, but it's designed with these earmuffs and with this respirator, all to fit underneath it. You can't beat that. My other grinding deal, the earmuffs interfered with the band that goes around, and my respirator stuck out from underneath the mask. So I couldn't even close my mask all the way. I just want to share this with you guys because I care about you and I want to help you find the people that help me. So head on over to benchmarkabrasives.com and tell them Spanky sent you. Let's get back to the video. Now, for you guys that suffer from a little bit of OCD, I know this is about to kill y'all. All this dust in my shop with all of the little greasy cars sitting around. Well, I do a pretty good job at keeping everything clean, but it's pouring down rain outside and it's about 47 degrees and I need to get some work done. All right, so I believe on the other video I showed cutting the original brackets off of the back of the seat springs. So I test fitted them. I didn't like the way they looked or fit, so I trimmed the back down some more. We're gonna put them back on again, and we're gonna try it, see what it looks like. We're just going to put these in here with these screws for now. I'll end up painting these. Probably not the same color as the seat frame or the upholstery. We want it to stand out. I've got some stuff I'm fixing to send off and have powder coated, so I may go ahead and get these done black. And I also put the ones on the bottom of the seat. So this will sit hopefully just like the springs that fit from the factory. If not, we're going to keep on working at it. All right, let's go test fit this. Now right here, I'm setting those 3 bottom brackets into the slots. The original slots, the original brackets in the bottom of the seat. After they're all in there, I will push the seat back now, let it drop into place, and then those top 3 brackets will go into the factory spots. And they have little set screws that bolts the seat to the frame, and that way the seat will not move. And you can take it in and out just like you would a factory seat, just like the bottom seat will be done too. Now here I'm just adjusting it, making sure that it's centered to the right and to the left, because I'm gonna go ahead and take some measurements off of that plywood and make sure that I've got enough room in between the plywood and that seat frame for my leather, my scrim, and any kind of edging, foam edging that I wanted to put between the materials and that plywood. So making your measurements now, you don't have to take this thing in and out. All right. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more trimming. There's a weld down here on the bottom that's kind of got that popped up just a little bit, which makes this right here just a little tight. But all these edges here will get sanded. I've already made some marks on the bottom where those will get sanded. This will be also covered in a thin layer of foam or scrim, just so to give it a nice rolled edge with a seat on it and the foam. So a little bit more tweaking to do, but this is how the original brackets will bolt in. So this is all covered. Once the seat's covered, you put the brackets on. The brackets go on the very back. The seat falls into place, and then you've got the little set screws up here and the original brackets at the bottom that push down in the original holes. So that is where we're at right now on this seat. The next step is to design the foam and glue it up, get it set, and we'll make some patterns. So I appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe button, follow along, keep up with us. Hit the like button if you got anything out of it. And as always, thanks so much for following along. If you're through watching all my old corny videos, then get out in the garage and go build something. See you guys in the next episode. Spanky's gone. Hey, one more for the road.